Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's flavour tasting. Today we're going to be looking at the Theros Beyond Death set. Theros is one of my favourite planes in Magic. Ancient Greek mythology is always great. The Romans loved it so much, they stole it, which is why copyright law was invented. Possibly. I have many Greekish sounding names ahead of us to butcher, so without further ado, let's get started. At number 10, we have Wings of Hubris. This card is inspired by one of my favourite Greek myths. It's a long tale, in which an exiled inventor creates a harness so a queen can perform a sexual act with a bull. It's a long story. Where did you think the Minotaur came from? He gets locked in a tower for his trouble with his son. Not one for giving up in a hurry, he makes a pair of wings for himself and his son, Icarus, famously warning Icarus not to fly too close to the sun. Icarus doesn't listen to this advice, flies too high, melts his wings, and falls to his death. All of this is summed up by this card's flavour text. Daclacos' invention worked, until it didn't. At number 9, I have Grim Physician. I like this card as it gives you an understanding of what the underworld is like on Theros, which is very specific to the plane, and the sacrifices made by those who return to the surface. Additionally, the artwork on this card is absolutely horrific. Just look at the fear in the patient's eyes, and goes really well with the flavour text. The returned retain no memory of their identities, but sometimes they mindlessly attempt familiar tasks. At number 8, I have picked Sweet Oblivion, another card depicting the underworld on Theros, which is a core part of the set. The card flavour and effect go very well together, with milling cards from the library, a good way of depicting a fraying memory. When memory is torment, oblivion is bliss. Bringing us in at number 7, we have Revoke Existence. In a plane filled with gods and their creations, it takes balls of steel to deny their existence.
Gloves are off, pal! Come on, let me see a little wrath. Smite me, oh mighty smiter!
I really like this card, not just for its humanity hell yeah vibe, but also because it tells us a lot about the plane, from its effects, about who needs who more. Enchantments being machinations of the gods, after all. The time has come for us to throw off the chains of tyrannical gods and antiquated superstitions. In the number 6 slot, we have Sage of Mysteries. Here is another card alluding to a famous Greek myth, Pandora's box. In that tale, the box was opened, and it released onto the world all of the horrors and evils, with only hope remaining. As with all tales, there are multiple versions, so it's unclear if hope is the last gift or the last curse. For if all is lost, what is the point of hope? It is reflected well in this card's flavour text. I see destruction, suffering, and one tormented glimmer of hope. Breaking us into the top 5, we have Loathsome Chimera. I see elk, and lion, and teeth. A lot of teeth. At number 4, we have our next chimera. This one is a mischievous chimera. On top of looking absolutely majestic, just look at the artwork on that card and his goatee face. We have some flavour text that Pandora should have listened to. Some curiosities are best left alone. At number 3, I have Eat to Extinction. This is the first card we are looking at that references the Titans. Like their Greek counterparts, the Titans of Theros existed before the gods. The Titans of Theros were basically walking natural disasters, and it was actually people's prayers to save them from the Titans that originally created the gods of the plane. I really like the flavour on this card, as it gives you a good understanding of the power of the Titans and also their alien psychology. Croxa devours what he may, not for subsistence or pleasure, but because it is his nature. He is unending hunger given form. At number 2, we have Whirlwind Denial. This is less of a flavour text and more of a transcription of a blue player's favourite word. No, no, and no. At number 1, it couldn't be anything else. It's Alrios Enraptured. Another allusion to a Greek myth, this card is bursting with flavour. It takes inspiration from the Greek story of Narcissus, a man so vain he is cursed to fall in love with his own reflection, which you can see reflected in this card's artwork. It's also the origin of the word narcissist, if you didn't know. This would be a lot of flavour on its own, but this card takes it a step further with the mechanics. It creates a 3-2 reflection, which is the mirror opposite of its 2-3 stats. The only thing that lets this card down is that Alrios backwards doesn't mean anything, as far as I'm aware. Regardless, well done to the Theros design team for this one, creating such a fun and flavourful card. Indeed. Why would I ever want to look away? Well, this has been my top 10 flavour tasting of the Theros Beyond Death set. Thanks to all of you who managed to make it to the end. In each and every one of you, I see a hero's heart. Till next time, cheers.